Namastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ekata bhagatyagena lakshyate. Sa ekata bhagatyagena lakshyate. And what is this ekata? Para apara atmanoho ekata. Which verse are we talking about? Yeah. What text are we considering? Just checking. So, para apara atmanoho. Atmanoho dual, correct? Yeah. Dual 6-2, as you would say. So 6-2. Sixth case, dual. How many atmas are there? That means 1, 2. I will wait till we have a consensus. So, one atma. But here, what is written grammatically? Atmanoho. That means what? Two are there where? In the buddhi. What kind of buddhi? Wrong buddhi. Under the influence of ajnanam and anyatha jnanam. Ajnanam, not knowing, anyatha jnanam, therefore taking oneself to be separate from everything else. Because of this, one sees two. One sees two. This is the problem. Seeing two, what happens because one sees two? What happens? One behaves as though one is living in a duality, and the costs of that are very, very high. It can extend as far as one's sanity. This is what happens. In samsara, everybody is mildly insane. This is what happens. That's why we need Vedanta to set the buddhi straight. But the Panchadashi, like even the Upanishad, because all these are drawn from the Upanishad, some of the mantras like Munja, Ishika, all these taken from the Upanishad. This is a clone of the Upanishad. So the Panchadashi, in keeping with the vision of the Upanishad, goes to the place where the jiva is. Because you have to meet the jiva. If you are teaching the jiva, what do you have to do? You have to enter into the world view of the jiva, which says what? There are two. Why two? There are two atmas. And then after that, if I look around, there are many atmas. That will be the next conclusion. So if I am just seeing myself and Bhagavan, there are two atmas, lowly atma, myself, para atma, paramatma. Who is that? Bhagavan. Two are there, but then I look at the Jagat and then I see many atmas. Now if such a person is told there is no Jagat separate from you, there is no Bhagavan separate from you, what will happen? That person will separate from you. Yeah, that's all will happen. Correct? Yeah, if you tell like that, then they are not going to stay for the unfoldment, for the understanding. And besides, this is not about, what is that called? Jagadandhya prasanga. Jagadandhya prasanga means the possibility of the Jagat not being there at all. Of course, it is not there from the standpoint of the vision of oneness. It is not there means what? It is not there separate from everything else. But at the same time, the person in the throes of this duality is convinced that everything is separate from everybody, including myself, and this separation is the cause of anxiety, fear. That's why it is called what? Separation anxiety. Starts at 2, does not end even life after life after life. Next life already afraid, already separate. And so this separation has to be, I won't go so far as to say validated, but at least acknowledged. Yes, I understand you are afraid. I understand that you think there are two Atmas, Para and Apara Atmanoho Ekata. So therefore what? Now these two Atmas in the vision of the Upanishad are one. You see how the teaching proceeds. This is a very important methodology. Agreeing with the person wherever they are, it's a very important methodology of not only teaching Vedanta, but even in the throes of an argument. You disarm the person. If you say, yes, I can see why you are saying this, I can see why you think this, the other person goes, oh, I have been heard, I have been acknowledged and validated, and then they are ready to listen to you. So here also, the teacher in the Upanishad always agrees. In fact, we go even so far as to agree with the Purva Pakshi. Even though Adi Shankara says na many times while answering, still there is, yes, we can see where you are and why you would come to this conclusion. Now you can hear what this has to be, what has to happen here, and what has to happen here is nothing short of a miracle. And what is the miracle? The person that considers himself or herself as lowly, no good, riddled with guilt, riddled with hurt, feeling completely abandoned, feeling not excluded, not part of anything bigger than oneself, and then oneself is how big? Small. Suffers from alpatvam, smallness. So this person has to be told, you are not small, you are all. You are one with the cause of the universe. This is a huge deal. And we saw how we have to change the language. Because the limitations of the language, we saw how they were removed yesterday, just through an ingenious understanding of the words which are used in the everyday. So what Mahavakya did we see yesterday? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. So that Jnanam means what? I am a conscious being. Jnanam here is not knowledge. I am that which is a conscious, sentient being who is all knowledge, and that knowledge is what? Neither the knower, we saw this, neither the knower, nor the known, nor the means of knowledge, but that which blesses all three and transcends them also. The knower without an object, known without the knower. That, each one excludes the other, but here we are talking of a knowing being, and that is the truth of me. When all the variable things are removed, cognitively of course, what remains is awareness. That is what is Chit, Jnanam. When you talk of Brahman, the definition Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. When you talk of Atma, from the standpoint of I, it is what? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Same exact definition. Same exact definition. So then what happens? Then we have therefore these this is only one part of the teaching. To cognitively see that I am nothing but awareness. I am aware of the body. What is the body? That which comes and goes. What is the mind? That which comes and goes. And what are the sense organs? That which comes and goes. What are my possessions? That which comes and goes. What is awareness? That which comes and goes. Good. Just checking. Awareness is that which does not come, does not go. And that is what? That is as far as you can go. On your own, yuktya. You can do this through logic. And we did that. 5 koshas we analyzed, 3 states of the body we analyzed, everything we analyzed, and we come to what? awareness. You is equal to awareness. And the Mahavakya takes that further. How does it take that further? Because when we talk of Jagat Karanam Brahma, when we talk about that, then what is there? There also, when we reduce everything that is variable. What is variable? From on the Ishvara side, so here is Jiva. What is invariable in the Jiva? Awareness. Awareness. Consciousness. What is invariable presence in Ishvara? Awareness, consciousness. How do you come to that? Because, as I said yesterday, the causality is an as though attribute of the attribute-less consciousness. An as though attribute. An as though attribute means what? Brahmanaha karanatvam praptam, Adi Shankara will say in the Taittiriya Bhashya. Brahmanaha karanatvam praptam. Praptam means what? Gained. Brahman has gained causality. Means what? It wasn't there before. It is all. Before means what? Before all this came into being. When in the unmanifest state of the Jagat, there is no causality, there is no difference, there is no Jiva, there is no Ishvara separate. All is one consciousness. And so, this is what we saw. This causality comes and goes, it is not taken into account. The status of the creator also comes and goes in relation to the manifest universe or the unmanifest universe. Unmanifest universe, it is gone. Manifest universe, it is there. And so, therefore, what? What is Ishvara? What is the truth of Ishvara? Consciousness. Somebody said, this is all in academic circles. That's why I call academia as academentia. Okay, yeah, because it is all selective research. So in academic circles, somebody said, so the equation in the Mahavakya, the equation is between Jiva and Brahman. No, this is the academic viewpoint. The equation is between Jiva and Brahman. No. Brahman as consciousness, no. Because that Jiva is what? Consciousness. That much we have already intuited, we have arrived at through logic, we have arrived at through, with the help of a few teachings, we already can get that. But that does not lead to the cessation of samsara. We are only concerned with one thing, cessation, the stopping of samsara. I am Brahman, big deal. Okay. Then what will be the satsang question? How to experience it? That is what will happen. Why? Because I know I am Brahman, but that means what? When I say I want to experience Brahman, what am I saying? I am saying that it has not done anything for me. I am Brahman, big deal, nothing has happened. Samsara continues, and then me drowning in samsara, some sorrow continues. Some sorrow for me. Very, very sorry, I am a samsari. Even though I know I am consciousness doesn't do anything. Does not remove samsara. So the equation necessarily has to be between Jiva and Ishvara. This Para-Atma is not consciousness here in verse 43. It is what? Ishvara. Paratma, Paramatma, Ishvara. And Apara is Jiva. So why do you say the equation is between Jiva and Ishvara? Because the Jiva is chafing under the powerlessness, under the umbrella of powerlessness, eclipsed by powerlessness. And so, now who is Ishvara? Overlord. And who am I? Lorded over. You see, there is a big difference. Just the words itself, very big difference. Somebody said in in Sanskrit, Aham cha tvam cha Rajendra, Hey Rajendra. Somebody is, addressing Bhagavan. Aham cha tvam cha Rajendra, Lokanatha Vubhavapi. You, O Lord, Rajendra, you who shines, and then you who are the Indra, the king of all, the shining king of all, you and I are what? Lokanatha, we are the what is that? What is Natha? The Lord of the universe. Aham cha, tvam cha, he Rajendra, Lokanathau, Ubhau, api. What happens in Sandhi? Lokanatha, Ubhavapi. Really, this person is great? How can you say like this? Aham cha tvam cha. And he's whether he is talking to Ishvara or whether he is talking to a local Raja, Rajendra can mean also Raja. He says, but there is a slight difference, he says in the second line. What is the difference? Bahuvrihi ahamasmi. Yeah. Bahuvrihi ahamasmi. You know how see, Lokanatha is a compound, correct? Lokanatha means what? Lord of the Loka, Lord of the world. So, Bahuvrihi ahamasmi shashti tatpurusho bhavan. So there are two ways of resolving this compound. What is the first way? Simple, 6 TP. This is all you will hear as you go in your Sanskrit thing. As you grow in your Sanskrit thing. TP means what? Tatpurusha. 6 TP means Shashti Tatpurusha. 4 TP means Chaturthi Tatpurusha. So you are 6 TP, meaning direct, very simple compound, and the meaning is very clear. Lokasya Nathaha Lokanathaha, Lord of the world. But what am I? Bahuvrihi. What is Bahuvrihi? So the one who is lorded over by the entire world. Not the Lord of the world. Overlorded by every mosquito and every bacteria. Who am I? I am that. And who are you? Lokasya Natha. And that means what? We are one, we are the same. What kind of sameness is this? This is the problem here. The problem is that I as the Jiva am lorded over. I don't have a say over anything. And here is this Ishvara telling me what to do, and I want to do something and I can't do that. There is a big block, stay order. No, you can't become that. Why? Because you don't have that equipment. You don't have the what should I say, the upadhi for that. You can't do this, you can't do that. The whole life can't. You can't do this, you can't do that. You shall not do this, you shall not do that. Wherever I go, there is a block. That is why Ganesha is so popular. The one who puts blocks and the one who removes them also. Ganesha is very, very popular. Everywhere you go, there is Ganesha. And I heard that even in the Amazon forest, they worship Ganesha. So therefore, because these blocks become the point of this feeling, rankling feeling of powerlessness, being lorded over by the world. And what is the world manifest as? The manifest as various orders. It's very orderly. But then I am what? I am under the spell of these orders. I am not the maker of these orders. I am under the spell of these orders. And these orders, we don't say are commandments of the Lord. They are manifestations of Bhagavan. They are not orders of Bhagavan. That is Bhagavan. That particular order is the way Bhagavan looks. That is the upadhi of Bhagavan. So upadhi vashat, because of the difference in the upadhis, the upadhi of the total is what? The entire Jagat plus the intelligence behind it, and the upadhi of the individual, this, Loda loda, body, mind, sense complex. What is loda loda? Move your desk. It should not move, but it moves sideways sometimes. Okay? And so, like that, this is who I feel I am. Taking the body, mind, sense complex to be himself or herself, the jiva suffers chafing under a series of orders which the jiva did not make. Did I choose my parents? No, of course not. And suddenly I have them. What for I have these parents? They are so crazy. And meanwhile, the parents are secretly thinking the same thing about you also. Where from I had this fellow? Yeah. Are you? And they look at each other and they say, are you sure this one was not exchanged somewhere in the birthing center or the hospital? They are also thinking the same thing. They are also equally clueless. How? Neither of us is like this. How this child we have? And the child also is secretly thinking, maybe I am adopted and they are not telling me. At some point or the other, everybody thinks this. And so, where did these parents come from? Suddenly I have them. Suddenly they are like God. They can walk, they can talk, they can move. I can't even flip over. And same cry, whether the baby needs a nappy change, whether it needs to be fed, or whether it needs a medicine because it has, what is that thing babies get? Colic. Whether it has colic, all same cry. And these stupid parents cannot interpret the cry. When I have stomachache, they push the feeding bottle into the mouth. Here, you must be hungry, take. We should study sometimes, what is that? That is called Shiva Aparadha Kshamapana Stotram. Beautiful. About 18 verses are there. A prayer of atonement for Lord Shiva, and it starts at the beginning. Here I was, O Lord, rolling around in the filth in my mother's womb, utterly helpless, not knowing what to do. And still, I did not have the brains, literally, the brains had not developed to say, Om Namah Shivaya. Then I was born, supposedly an independent individual. I was born. Voter ID, everything, Aadhaar card for the baby and any other form of identity. Even passport they make. Somebody sent me a passport for a 2-month-old baby. They said, please bless this passport, I'm sending the photo. I said, even 2-month-old baby needs passport? Yeah, they were planning to go somewhere. And so it was astounding. But anyhow, so 2-month-old baby, it cannot even flip over on its own. It has a passport which has a number. 7 numbers of the passport is there. And it is supposed to be independent. And and this, the prayer to Lord Shiva says, here I was born at the mercy of every biting being. How much can the parents protect? Especially in a tropical country like India. You can't protect. One passing mosquito will say, aha, new blood, oh, new in town, let me, new restaurant, let me see. Tender new restaurant, let me go and have a sip here. New restaurant or bar, whichever, yeah. So all these biting beings, what are they called? Mosquitoes and fruit flies, and then what else? These ants, bed bugs, everything under the mercy of that. Shankaram na namami. Not even once did I say, Om Namah Shivaya. Kshantavyo me aparadha, Shiva 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 Bho, Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Therefore, you have to forgive this. You have to forgive this being. This is a nice, very nice prayer of atonement. But the first 2 verses talk about the helplessness of the jiva. Total helplessness. Born helpless and grow up how? Helpless. And then become an adult, still helpless. And then marries somebody who is also helpless. Ah. Helpless plus helpless? Helplessly helpless. This is what happens. There is nothing, there is no redemption possible here. And then what? And then because one is helpless, one is starting to look for somebody to save. Who will save? Tell me. Who will save? Because everybody is what? Helpless. So this, until we understand this helplessness is mithya, and so the saving is also what? Mithya, there can be no redemption. There is no moksha. In fact, there is no need to be saved at all. Why? Because we are not enslaved. The Hindu dharma is not salvific by nature because there is no need to be saved. That helplessness is a superimposition upon that Atma that is not helpless at all. This we understand only when we come to Vedanta. Until we come to Vedanta, therefore bhakti, therefore a place to put that helplessness, the altar of Bhagavan, that is how this para and apara become one, at least during time of worship, become one. They are already one, but in the view of the jiva, one can see that they are one at the time of worship. When we sing bhajans, all the voices, one. You ask people to sing individually, there will be lot of wrong swaras. But together, everybody sounds fantastic. Everybody sounds fantastic. Why? Because there is an immersion. There is an immersion of the individual with the total. In the beginning, the immersion is contrived through this, bhajans and bhakti and all this. And then what happens with the help of the Shastra, exposure to Shastra, we say the immersion, there is no reason to immerse because there is no separation. Only when there is separation, we need immersion. There is no separation, you don't need immersion at all. We have to understand the non-separation. This non-separation, again in the Chandogya Upanishad, through the Vakya that is illustrated here, which is what? Tat Tvam Asi, is brought about in a very unique way, using some unique tools, and then we are going to see that now. Now, the Chandogya Upanishad, the 6th chapter, begins with a very tall claim. What is the claim? This Jagat, before it was this Jagat, what was it? Sat. This Jagat was Sat. When? Before it was in this current form. What is the current form? Manifest. It was Sat. And now what is it? Asat? No, it is still Sat. It is still Sat. Sadeva Somya Idamagre Asit. Asit, the past tense, is just Aupacharika. Aupacharika means just figurative past tense, because we are talking of a time, even time doesn't matter, there is no way to say this. Before this Jagat came into a state of manifestation, what was it? Sat. Asit does not mean now it is Asat. No, now also it is Sat. And how many Sats are there? Ekam. This word Ekam means what? One. This one is a big problem. One Sat means we are in trouble. Because one is a number of a set to whatever we are referring to. That's one problem with the number one. One tree, one river, one mountain, meaning among many mountains we are talking of one. One tree, one river, one mountain. And then the second problem with the number one is what? It is infinitely divisible. 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, 1/16, you can keep on going. Endlessly you can keep on going. So therefore, another word is added, ekam eva advitiyam. Sadeva Somya. Somya means, oh dear one. The father is talking to the son. The father has become the guru now. The father turned teacher is talking to the son turned shishya, disciple. Sadeva Somya idam agre asit. What is that? Ekam eva advitiyam. Advitiyam, non-dually one. That word is added. But then, this Jagat is Sat, yes? Then what's all this? Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam. This whole, whatever you see, because Shvetaketu is the student, who is the teacher? Uddalaka. Uddalaka is the teacher, Shvetu is our student, and Shvetu is in disbelief. Shvetu says, what do you mean? It is Jagat is Sat, Jagat is one, Advitiyam, this is all new to him. He has come back from university. I told you, academia. But he has not asked for this knowledge, he has not gained this knowledge. So the father wants to fill in this knowledge, because knowing Brahman, you as well know everything else. And so this knowledge is very important, you have to understand this. And so saying, he starts the teaching, and then Shvetaketu is in awe. What is this? This Jagat is Sat? Yes, but what all these? I see you, you see me, and then there is, perhaps they are sitting by the river bank or in their backyard, there are trees, there is water, there is sun, we are sitting outside, there is the house, there are other houses in the neighborhood, there is a village. What do you mean all this is Sat? What is all this then? If Jagat is Sat, what are all these things inside this Jagat? And the father says, Vak alambhanam, Vak arambhanam. It's all centered on word. It's all word and meaning. Word and meaning. The whole Jagat is nothing but a series of word and meaning. Table. What is it? Word and a meaning. Oh no, we should go to the source. Wood. What is wood? Word and meaning. Tree. Word and meaning. And then like this, everything. Fabric. Shirt. Word and meaning. What is shirt made of? Fabric. Word and meaning. Yarn. Word and meaning. Cotton, word and meaning. Cotton bush, word and meaning. Cotton pod, word and meaning. Cotton seed, word and meaning. Another cotton tree from which that seed came from, word and meaning. And then if we keep going, we'll go in infinite regress. Everything is word and meaning. It's nothing but a word which has a meaning. That's all it is. The whole Jagat is dancing on my tongue. That's all it is. This is what it is. The whole Jagat is playing on my tongue, is dancing on the tongue, and then what is the name of that dictionary? There is one famous dictionary, Merriam-Webster. Merriam-Webster dictionary has taken on to publish every year the word of the year. What is the word of the year? New word with a new meaning. That's all it is. Dictionary keeps getting fat, and our understanding of the Jagat is very slim indeed if we don't understand it as one with Bhagavan. Dictionary gets fat. Why? Because new species are discovered, new things are discovered, plus we have this lingo. What is the lingo? Teenage lingo. Yes. Where the nouns become verbs, and it's not Sanskrit, okay? Yeah. So we have to be concerned. In Sanskrit, we don't have to be concerned. How can a noun become a verb? one teenager will tell another. And this is in fact quite old. There are some more new things that are there which I am not familiar with. But one teenager will tell another, one young adult will tell, don't diss me. Diss becomes a verb. What is it? It's actually, disrespect. So this is short form here. So like this, all these words, if we put in the dictionary, the teenage lingo, the old person's lingo, and everybody else, all the languages, everything, the dictionary is fat because the Jagat is fat, infinitely full of all kinds of what? Words and meanings. The Jagat dances on my tongue in the form of many, many words, many, many meanings. And he illustrates this by 3 illustrations. First is our trusty pot and clay. Ekena mrit pindena sarvam mrinmayam vijñātam. We have to add iva syat bhavati. You don't have to do a PhD thesis on each and every thing that has come from clay. The whole world of earthenware is understood by examining one lump of clay. Mrittika iti eva satyam. In this example, the mrittika is the sat. Mrittika means clay. Clay is sat. And then what is the many, many pots, lids, jugs, jars, what are they? Mrinmayam jagat. Mrid vikaram jagat. That's why he says vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam. They are all modifications, as though modifications we have to add, of clay. The whole clay jagat is a modification, is series of modifications of clay. What kind of modification? Incidental modification. Why? Because the clay is still clay. The pot is still what? Clay. And so, but still the pot has to undergo a baking process. It is the kiln. You have to put it and heat it to a certain degree so that it doesn't fall apart, so it can hold water. The dampness is, it has to undergo a process of dehydration and made very brittle so that it can be of use. The second example Uddalaka selects is just beautiful. Gold and ornaments. Here, even though there is some making process, you can still see that the shine of the ornament belongs to what? Gold. The weight of the ornaments belong to gold. So again, chain is what? Word and meaning. A word and meaning. Ring, word and meaning. Bracelet, word and meaning. Armlet, word and meaning. Yeah. It's just a word and meaning. The whole thing is word and meaning, word and meaning, word and meaning. Because all that is here is what? Gold. Ornament comes, ornament goes, gold is. Gold is what? Sat. Where? In relation to the ornaments. Or don't forget to say that. Otherwise you will go away thinking, yes, gold is Sat. Yeah, I knew that. I should invest in gold. That's why it's so expensive, because gold is Sat. Gold is Sat in relation to the gold world. And then another thing, gold and ornament, what is the substantive and what is the adjective? Gold is substantive, correct? Yeah, we are all Vedantins here. That is the correct answer. Gold is a substantive. And the ornament is what? Adjectival to gold, correct? Yeah. Ornament qualifies the gold. Yet what do we say? Golden chain. Golden becomes what? Adjective. What is the substantive? Chain. Chain is substantive. This is all upside down. Totally upside down, which means the language is in keeping with our ignorance of Sat. It should be chainy gold. Bangly gold. Ringy gold. That's what it is. Gold in the form of ring, gold in the form of chain, gold in the form of bangle. Yet what do we say? Golden bangle, golden chain, golden ring. Shame on us. Really. But this is the limitations of the language. Because the language is there in the atmosphere of what? Ignorance alone. Then, having given these examples, he says that in the same way, this whole jagat of his words and meanings has come out of Sat, as it were, is sustained by Sat, and when it all resolves, where does it go back? To Sat. And Tat Sat, that Sat, Sa Atma, that Sat is you. That Sat is you, Shvetaketu. Tat Sat Sa Atma Tvamasi Shvetaketu. That is why the Mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi. Shvetu is baffled. He's like, what? His jaw drops to the floor. What? How? How is this possible? He doesn't understand. Bhuya eva bhagavan vijñāpayatu. Please, oh revered one, please teach me this again. Please teach me this again. He asks this 9 times. So the word Tattvamasi, the phrase Tattvamasi is repeated 9 times. Then he says thank you and goes away. He gets enlightened in a 9-day retreat. Yeah. Only 9 days. Okay. So, this way, when we examine this Mahavakya, what is the Mahavakya? Tat Tvam Asi. There are 3 words in the Mahavakya. First, let us take the verb, because that is how Sanskrit is studied. Catch hold of the verb. What is the verb? Asi. Are you sure it's not Tat or Tvam? Okay, good. Asi means what? Are. Who Asi? You Asi. Second person. Second person, singular. Asi. You are. You are doesn't mean future tense. Bhavishyasi. You will become. No. Or you asihi, you were. No. What is it? Simple present tense. You are. When? Right now you are. Yesterday also you are. Day before yesterday also, if we were talking this, you are. Tomorrow if we are discussing this, you are. You are. Asi means are. Simple present tense. And the simple present tense means what? It doesn't have a maryada. There is no limit there. Supposing there is some wedding or something at home. Then what happens? You hire a cook. The lunch is to be served at 1 o'clock. And the cook comes at 6 o'clock because there is hundreds of people coming. Cook comes at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock cook comes, and then you say, what the cooks, let's say cooks come at 6 o'clock. 2-3 fellows come. And then, if you ask the question, what are the cooks doing? Cooking. 7 o'clock, cooking. 8 o'clock, cooking. 9 o'clock, cooking. 10 o'clock, cooking. 11 o'clock, cooking. 12 o'clock, cooking. 12:30, cooking. 12:45, cooking. 12:55, cooking. 12:59, cooking. Cooks. What does he do? Cooks. What does she do? Cooks. They may not be doing exactly what you consider cooking, but there's all these prep involved. Cutting vegetables is also what? Cooking. Sauteing something, cooking. Frying something, cooking. Boiling something, cooking. Boiling water is also part of cooking. How long is this cooking? Until we say it has ended, now the guests are hungry. Until the guests barge into the kitchen with their plates and say, serve us, we are hungry, the cook will be doing what? Cooking, cooking, cooking. This is the beauty of the present tense. This is wonderful that way. You are. Meaning what? You forever are. There was no time that you were not. And so what is the second word here? Tvam. Tvam. Let us take Tvam. Tvam. You are. Is that a complete sentence? You are? No. Because then you have to say, what am I? You are what? And then we don't know what is the vivaksha. Vivaksha means the intent of the speaker. We don't know what is there. Whether they will complete the sentence by saying you are a loser. I don't know if that's what is coming. You are what? Tat. Tat means that. You see, there is a similarity. That, see? Similar. You are Tat. Now, I don't know what Tat is. Okay, don't worry about Tat. Do you know what you are? Yeah, that I know. What I am, I know. What are you? This many inches tall, this many kilos weight. And then what else? This is my name. This is my occupation. And here is where I go. Here is where I come. This is my birthplace. And then these are the parents that I have or had. And then what else? These are the friends, circle of friends. And then what else? What else constitutes this I? This is my body. This is my mind. These are the senses. This is my calling. And all this is my spouse. This is my house. These are the children. All this constitutes what? Aham, which the teacher says, Tvam. This is all constitutes, under the word you, all this is included. Here also, we need to do what? Discernment between the variable and the invariable. The commonplace definition of the word you, which constitutes all the things you have gathered, all the things that you think you are, variable or invariable? Variable. Drishta nashta svabhavaha. Drishta means seen. As soon as it's seen, it's gone. Seen, gone, seen, gone, seen, gone, everything. As soon as you look at it, it's gone. As soon as you see it, it is gone. Drishta nashta svabhavaha. Seen means recognize. As soon as you say, oh, I have a body. Oh no, it's aging. Oh, I have a mind. What was I going to say? Never mind. Everything. Seen, gone, seen, gone, seen, gone. Just a matter of time. Everything comes under the spell of time. All that is defined as you comes under what? The spell of time. Amazing it is. That's why somebody said, in that same, what is that, in the same one that I quoted, Shiva Aparadha Kshamapana Stotram Shloka, Kalo Jagad Bhakshakaha. Kalaha, time, devours the universe. Everything in the universe goes into the jaws, the maw of time. Everything goes swallowed up by time. Who is saying? I? The conscious being is saying, all that is here withers away. Who is saying? The unwithering one. All that is here is swallowed up. Who is saying? The unswallowable one. All that is here is in the jaws of time. Who is saying? The one who is out of the jaws of time. Who is that? The one who is aware of time has to be timeless. So the timeless awareness is arrived at by, quote unquote, removing cognitively everything that is variable. Who are you? Invariable awareness. Awareness, we can add a few more things since we have studied this much of this text. Awareness without a beginning. Uncrafted awareness, awareness that is not a product of time, awareness that is not a product of some other entity. Unqualified awareness, awareness that is not aware of anything, because if I am aware of something, then there is a duality, which if I don't understand to be as though becomes real. Awareness unqualified by time, unqualified, unconditioned by space, unconditioned by object. Sometimes they say, Shuddha Chaitanyam, pure awareness. Awareness, we don't have to say pure awareness. Why? Always pure. This awareness is always pure. There was a, near the water station where you go to get your water, there was in the olden days, in Pujya Swamiji's time, there was a sign, pure drinking water. Swamiji made them remove the word pure. Drinking water has to be pure. What do you mean pure drinking water? Similarly, pure awareness, Shuddha Chaitanya. So, we are lacking words here. Shuddha Chaitanya means a Chaitanya in awareness, that is a consciousness that is unqualified by object, by subject, by the status of subject, object, or a means of knowledge. That which blesses everything. And right now it is what? Not qualified by anything, that as though unconditioned consciousness is called Shuddha Chaitanya. That is what you get by the potato harvest. What? Up till now I was understanding very nicely. Then suddenly what happened? Potato harvest. This potato harvest is called Tvam Pada Vichara. What is this potato harvest? When you dig up the potatoes, you have to be careful because you can cut through the potatoes. Therefore, you cut through, you dig through, you give it a big extra space and you bring the whole bunch of potatoes attached to clumps of earth, the mud. What do you want now, potatoes or mud? Potatoes, yes. I am glad we are in agreement. So, part of the potato harvest includes taking the potato greens and then taking the potatoes by the hair and then giving them a few whacks right there in the field. This many feet tall, this heavy, this many kilos, engineer, doctor, lawyer, father, mother, sister, brother belonging to this native place is all what? Yeah. Part of the potato harvest. You beat out the non-potatoes. You let the non-potatoes just by the wayside. Occupation, non-potato. House, non-potato. Spouse, non-potato. And then what else? Weight, non-potato. Height, non-potato. Color of skin, non-potato. Color of hair, non-potato. Everything is non-potato, 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 non-potato. Then finally you look, aha, potato. Shuddha Chaitanya. This is what is called in erudite Vedantic circles as Tvam Pada Vichara, an analysis, an inquiry into the word you. And then this you is asi, you are what? Tat. The you is equated to tat. Therefore, every Mahavakya is like an equation. Because there is an equal sign. The you is equated to tat. Now we know the meaning of tat. What is tat? Jagat Karanam Brahma. Tat is Ishvara. You is equated to Ishvara. When you say Ishvara also, oh my God, you go like this. If you are an Indian, you go like this. Some kind of an atonement. And then Ishvara, oh, so big, so huge, incomprehensibly big, limitless. And me, just small. How can there be an equal sign? This is exactly like a mathematical equation. If supposing somebody were to say 20 minus 11 is equal to 5 plus 4. The 8-year-old is studying this equation. What? Because these two are in brackets. 20 minus 11 bracket is equal to, and then in other brackets, what is there? 5 plus 4. So we have to resolve the things in the brackets. Before you apply the equal sign, you have to resolve that. Before you see that they are equal. And the student, the 8-year-old student cannot tell, the 8-year-old child cannot tell the teacher, I have a lot of Shraddha in you, teacher. Whatever you say is correct. Whatever I say is wrong. So, I believe you, madam, sir, whatever. I believe you. I believe you, teacher. I have great Shraddha. Is that enough? No. The teacher will make the child count on its hands. What is 5? Come on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay, 9. Because the child is flummoxed. This side of the equation is what? Double digits, minus sign. This side of the equation, single digits and plus sign. How can the two be equal? What are you talking about? How can they be equal? They cannot be equal. They look different. Just like what? Jiva and Ishvara. They look different. Why do they look different? Because Jiva complains a lot and Ishvara does not complain. That's why they look different. They look different. See, that's why the equation is not between Jiva and Brahman, consciousness. Please understand, because when we did the potato harvest, what was the conclusion? Jiva is Shuddha Chaitanya, consciousness. That is not an equation. 5 plus 4 is equal to 5 plus 4, that's not an equation. An equation necessarily has to have dissimilarity, overt dissimilarity and underlying, which is hiding an underlying identity. Then only the equation becomes fun. Otherwise, 9 is equal to 9. What kind of an equation is it? That's not an equation. The equation has to have incredulous dissimilarity. Then only it becomes something to understand, something to resolve. And then, so if this side we did the potato harvest, Tvam side, then when we do Tat Pada Vichara, what do we have to do? Another potato harvest. When will that happen? 11 o'clock. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.